A pet doesn't seek his parents, but an adopted or orphan human cannot sit peacefully until he finds his parents, his roots, a place from where he belongs, whether he lives with them or not. Having the most developed brains, we are the most restless too, and hence we seek our roots even beyond our parents. Namaskar friends. To begin with, let us start with an example. At our birth, we get the very first introduction to our mothers. We can see her wearing a warm smile and eyes full of affection. We feel her loving bosom, smell her fragrance, etc. In this example, have you noticed that we are seeing something, feeling the touch or hearing the voices? We do all these activities with the help of our senses, and throughout our lives we inevitably keep dealing with one or the other subject of the senses. It happens through words, numbers, forms, and labels. For example, in the example of mother and child, mother is a label given to a woman who has just given birth. Similarly, newborn baby is the label given to the one who has just arrived into the world. Then we notice that we require names, symbols, and tags to live our lives. Have you ever thought that if all the languages, theories, words, books, and the rest of the subjects that require the use of senses just vanish? I mean, what if there is absolutely nothing? Will there still be something left? To be precise, can something exist beyond our sensory perception, which is not required to be touched, to be seen, or to be heard in order to be known? Can there be a state like that? Well, philosophically, the answer is a yes, and this is where all the spiritual experiences start. Life is a story of that experience, that realization, and beautifully, each of us can experience and realize it. Undoubtedly, it is not easy, however, it is also not impossible. The teacher of Samaysar conveys that there are countless tales of material needs and life struggles, but all these tales belong to the material world and physical laws. He teaches us the tale of that to which the journey of life belongs. Lesser teachers and the rarest tell this kind of tale. So, when we talk about dealing with tags, etc., throughout our lives, we notice that we are performing some or the other action every moment, known as karma in Indian tradition. For example, if one is sitting idle, this is an action. When one is sleeping, this is an action too. And so do thinking, meditating, and living. So, can there be a state where there is no action at all? Absolutely no performance of karma. Just a state of being, a state of existence beyond the boundaries of materialism. The teacher reveals here that each name, tag, and symbol is nothing but a mode, and modes are temporary. He suggests pondering over that which is not transient or perishable, and that which is not momentary can surely not fall into the boundaries of names, forms, and symbols. For example, a human is called an infant at birth, a toddler from 1 to 5 years of age, a child till 11 years, and then a teenager, and so on. He keeps changing in visible terms till old age. However, at all times there is an essence in him due to which he is known as the same man who took birth as that baby. And please note that in this example, we are only taking his appearance into consideration. He keeps transforming in countless other ways in context of intellect, nature, preferences, hobbies, etc. Let's simplify it further. A person can be a policeman if he prepares for the same, and the same person could have been a judge if he chooses that career option. Someone can be in love, in anger, or any other emotion. But all these states are his modes. Modes that have a specific set of characteristics and hence can be given names. Be it modes or characteristics, both of them are temporary, and the real essence underneath these changes stays distinct from them. Let us take another example. A student becomes a student because of his surroundings, because his parents decide to send him to school at reaching a certain age. We notice that these external conditions act as instrumental causes that create ground for changes in that person's life. However, no matter how many changes he goes throughout his life, there still lies a state in him which is permanent, unchanging, and unaffected by any modes, any outer circumstances, etc., which is the real object of knowledge. In the end, let us now dive a little deeper into the philosophy of life. If we analyze the pattern of the life of any living being, no matter how rudimentary it is, we see specific stages are followed inevitably. These stages are birth from a living parentage, growth up to a certain age, becoming old, and ending in death. The author of Samaysar, Kundakundacharya, says that consciousness passes through all these changes as modes. We may call it the life principle or the soul. It operates through the living body, which is made up of inorganic elements. I'm talking about the body. Now let us have the key takeaways from today's talk. 1. As the most developed species on the planet, we are equipped to find the bigger purpose of our existence. 2. Each of us has an essence behind sensory observations. Due to this, we are called alive. 3. That essence surpasses all symbols, theories, tags, and every means of knowledge known to humankind. 4. That essence is accessible to all of us at all times. And last but not least, 5th, that essence can be called soul, consciousness, or the principle of life. It manifests itself in different forms. No matter how underdeveloped it seems, it is the same life force in all living beings. With this, I take your leave. Take care and goodbye.